Hello and welcome to this lesson where we're going to go ahead and take the flat holiday icons that we sketched out in the previous lesson and make them a reality here in Adobe Photoshop. So I'm going to go to File, New, and this time instead of just combining them all in the same document, I'm going to make them each individually on their own documents by 512 and 512. And so I'm going to call this one Ornament, hit OK. And we'll get a background color here of white, and we'll start here with the ellipse, and I'm using this color, just something around this hue would work. And I'm just going to select once or click once and hit 512 by 512, specify from center and hit OK. And I'm just going to position this here in the center more. And then what I want to do is right click, duplicate layer, hit OK, and hit Control T, and just scale in right around there. We'll go back to the first one, double click, and we'll choose that. Now we do want to take both of these and scale them down just a little bit this way, right around there, hit apply. And now we want to add the top portion where it actually hangs from, and so I'm going to use the pen tool for that. And for the color I'm going to use just a gray, anywhere like around there. And I'm just going to select up there and select right around here. You don't have to be perfect. And then kind of end it off right there. And again, change the color here to gray. I may make it a little bit lighter than that. Okay. And then what I want to do is near the top portion right around here, we're going to create just a lighter shade, and we'll make this color near white. And then we'll go ahead and add the little portion from which it actually hangs. Right there. And over here we'll specify a gray color for the stroke, and we'll get rid of the fill, and we'll increase that to around 6 points. Okay, and then finally we kind of want to add like a highlight that goes straight around this portion. So what I want to do is we'll take the original ellipse, right click, duplicate layer, just drag it to the top, and I'm going to give it an opacity just temporarily. Hit Control T. I think right around there would be good. Hit apply. And we do want to drag it underneath this portion. Okay. And let's make it white. And we'll adjust the opacity down just a hair, to right around 25%. Alright. And that looks pretty good right there. So if we select all these layers and hit Control G, we can group these. Just call it Ornament. And we can hit Control T and just scale this up. And actually it does match, and it doesn't go beyond this portion. That's what I was worried about, so it doesn't really matter. So now we can save this and go to File, Save As, and we'll call it Ornament. And that's good for this one. So now what I want to do is create another document, 512 by 512 once again, and this one we'll call Tree. Alright, and I'm going to go back to the previous document. This is kind of the base color we're going to use, and we'll go ahead and get started with the pen tool. Alright, so I'm just going to drag out here, try to emulate as best as possible what we designed just by freehanding it. Hold shift on this last one so we can get it be 100% straight. I'm going to select all of these, hit copy, and I'm going to hit duplicate layer and then go to edit, transform path, flip horizontal, move this one over right to where they meet, and then I'm going to hide this real quick. Take the direct selection tool, select all of them, hit Control C to copy, and then delete. We'll bring this back, and with all these currently selected, hit Control V to paste. So that puts them on the same layer. So now it's all on the same path. So now I want to give it a stroke, but first I want to use the correct stroke color. So we'll just go right here. I'll copy the color code and go back to the direct selection tool, and we see up here we have, choose this right there, and then we will increase the stroke, hit Control H to get rid of that, alright, and now what we'll do, now I want to create a new layer, Control Shift N, and we'll just call this highlight, and we'll use previous layer to create a clipping mask, and then we'll use the pen tool with white selected, and we'll drag out just to around here. Alright, and then we'll go ahead, hit Control H to get rid of the outline, and we'll choose right around 39%, and then we'll continue on doing the same thing. This time I'm just going to select the shape 1, and we'll go right around here, right there. Alright, and let's get rid of that. And this was 39%. Alright, and then finally we'll do one more right there. Let me undo that. Okay, and end it right there, and once again 39%. Alright, so just about done there. Now what we can do is take all these layers, move them up, and then finally create one more layer. I want to get this color in my foreground, and we'll take the rectangle tool and scale down just to right around there. We'll make sure that color is selected. And then one final thing is just to add a shadow, and so it would be cast kind of this way, and we'll select right on layer 1 so that once we create this it will go right underneath. So now what we want to do is we'll take the ellipse tool, Hold Alt like that. And end it right there. And what we want to do is make it all the way black. And then just take the opacity down. Control H, just to around, I'd say 7%. And there we go. Okay, so that takes care of our second icon, tree. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now we can move on to our third and final icon for this lesson, and we'll finish up with the remaining two after. So let's go ahead to File New, 512 by 512. We'll call this one Candy Cane. We'll hit OK. And now what we want to do is go ahead and we'll fill this in first with white. And with that color selected, we'll go ahead and just select anywhere. And we'll hold out and drag. And we'll edit these points too a little bit so they work well. I'm just going to go straight down. And we will go ahead and select right around here, holding Shift, Shift again, hold Shift and drag out. Actually, I want it down just a little bit lower. And then select right around here. And you may have to Control Z a few times just to get it right. You can always adjust it afterwards with the arrows. And then close it up. Now if we see any that we want to specifically select, we can take the direct selection tool and adjust these. Alright, so now what we want to do is go ahead and give this a stroke. So now we can go back here and we want to make sure that we get the right stroke color. And we can go ahead and specify that right here. And leave it to right around there. And now what we want to do is take this and create a new layer. Control Shift N will make it a clipping mask. Call it Highlight. And go ahead with the pen tool, and we're going to take a white, and we'll start right around here, and we'll go right around here and close it off. And then we'll do that. We'll go ahead and duplicate this layer several other times, and this one's going to be a little bit different because we have this angle right here to deal with. So I'm just going to select right around here and go ahead and I think right here make that a clipping mask, and then one more right around here and make this a clipping mask as well. Hit Control H. Alright, and then what we want to do is just take these four and take the opacity and just drop them down a bit, and then take all of them, we'll go ahead and group them, hit Control T and hold Shift and just basically scale up, and we want it to fit in here, and then just select Apply. Okay, and so that finishes this candy cane and also this lesson. And so in the next lesson we'll go ahead and finish up the remaining two flat holiday icons. Alright, I'll see you then.